All right, we have Pharmacology, lecture 15. Starting out here, we have the GS subunit, we have the GQ subunit. GS subunit is going to increase cyclic AMP, it's going to increase adenylyl cyclase, it's going to decrease calcium. If you decrease calcium, that's going to relax muscles. Whereas GQ is going to increase IP3, which is going to increase calcium. If you increase calcium, that's going to tighten muscles. So now that you know those two things, GS and GQ, if you know which prostaglandin or thromboxane is GS and which is GQ, then you know pretty much what it does. If it's GS, it's going to relax something, or it's going to inhibit things from being aggravated. And if it's GQ, then it's going to constrict things, and it's going to cause things to aggregate, like platelets. So, D, I, E. Prostaglandin D, prostaglandin I, prostaglandin E, all are GS, meaning that they relax things almost exclusively. That's what they do. E is responsible for almost all of them. All the relaxing that happens, E does it. Whereas I does most of it, a lot of it, but not quite all the relaxing. And D does almost none at all. Pretty much it just does. The only thing that really makes it stand out is that it causes eosinophils and like lymphocytes to have chemo attraction come to the area. D also causes platelet inhibition, aggregation inhibition. So it doesn't want to, that platelets don't want to aggregate. Okay, and D kind of looks like a platelet, so that's helpful. So now that you know DIE, obviously that's GS, so the only ones that are left over now are going to be GQ. So we've used up DIE, the only ones left over are thromboxane A2 and F. So thromboxane A2 does pretty much everything. The only thing that really stands out that's different about F that it does is that it constricts both the gastrointestinal large muscle, or excuse me, longitudinal muscle and circular muscle in the colon haustra. So that's most of that, general rules. I mean, there's some little details there that I'm missing, but that's the majority of it. Okay, now we're going to talk about some of these things over here to get them down. Dinoprostone. Okay, dinoprostone is a prostaglandin E2. Works with that one. So I'm going to make this a little closer so you can see the ridiculous images I made here. So dinoprostone. This is a dinosaur that is having its cervix ripened so that the eggs can come out. E is for egg, that its cervix is ripened and the E eggs are coming out. E stands for prostaglandin E2. Dino stands for dinoprostone, and the fact that it's laying eggs means its cervix has ripened, so they're coming out. So there you have all three things that you know there. Next, carboprost. This is a prostaglandin F2. It induces second trimester abortions. Okay, so here is an aborted baby in the second trimester. It has an F on it for fetus, and here are the parents driving away in the car. Okay. So carboprost, car stands for carboprost. F for fetus stands for F for PGF, and the baby that's dead stands for the abortion that occurred in the second trimester. Next, alpoprostadil. It's a prostaglandin E1. Erectile dysfunction is what it does. So here is Al. Al is a pro at having erections. So here's Al with his erection. So Al pro is going to help you know that this is alprostadil. Al pro. Here's Al. He's a pro. He has an erection. That stands for the erectile dysfunction. And E for erection stands for prostaglandin E1. And his penis looks like a 1, kind of. So you can remember that. Next, we have Epoprostenol and treprostinil. Epoprostenol is given IV, and treprostinil is given subcutaneously, and it has a longer half-life. So I have some lungs here. ET's face Kind of looks like a pair of lungs. E.T. from that weird movie, yeah, the alien movie. So E.T., Epoprostenol and Treeprostenol. If you remember, they trespassed on that area, so they went in the trees. The trespass, I drew a tree with a syringe on top, standing for going into the subcutaneous tissue. And I have no idea what Epopro stands for. Sorry. Cafirleucast and Monteleucast. Okay, so what, and also Zileuton. All these are, oh, I forgot, sorry, we go back. The lungs here for ET is because it has pulmonary hypertension. So from ET, pulmonary hypertension, that's what this treats. I think this is actually called prostacyclin as well. Epoprostenol is also prostacyclin. Okay, now going back in here. Cafirleucast and Monteleucast. These are leukotriene receptor antagonists. So this is Luke. He is trying to cast with his fishing rod. Unfortunately, it got wrapped around his neck as he was casting, and it is now causing him asthma because it's tightening off his throat. And he's French, and so he says the French swear word zutelo. So that is xyloton. That's how you remember the zutelo. He's swearing because he got the fishing thing wrapped around his neck. The cast helps you remember that is cafirleucast and Monteleucast. They both end in cast. I think they're the only ones. And the leukotriene, you know, this is Luke and he is trying to cast. And it's right around his neck stands for the asthma. Okay. Chromolin inhibits Eicanisoids. So this one, I have this garbage can full of icky Eicanisoids, icky whatever. Icky kind of sounded like Eicanisoids to me. And there is a chrome trash can lid inhibiting the icky trash from coming out. So chrome for chromolin and inhibits Eicanisoids. It's being inhibited by being put in the icky garbage can. Next, Misoprostol, Prostaglandin E1 analog. Okay? So this is a gas can. It's easy. Okay, it's easy to pour. E for prostaglandin E1. This kind of looks like a 1 as well in the end. So E helps you remember it's easy to pour. It's a gas can. But it's not so easy because he missed trying to get it into his car. Here's his car right here. That's a car. Just have to take my word for it. And he missed getting into his car. So it's Misoprostol, stands for that he missed, and the gastroprotection stands for gas, and the E for easy is the prostaglandin E1. Okay? Now, this next one is, these are all prostaglandin F2 analogs. Unoprostone, Travoprost, and Latanoprost. So, uno means one in Spanish. One, travel to the country of the Latinos. Latin, okay. Uno, travel, Latin. One, travel to Latino, whatever. Unoprost, Travoprost, Latanoprost. Uno, travel, Latin. F stands for flight. You're traveling to Latino land, South America. So F stands for flight and prostaglandin F2. Those will help you the names. The other one that's in this is Bimatoprost. This is also in this PGF analogs as well. And maybe you could think you're going to buy a ticket, and when you buy your ticket, you blink your big eyelashes to remember that Bimatoprost is also used topically to make your eyelashes be longer and darker. So topical for eyelashes, Bimatoprost. And there it is.